Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. The C-5 Super Galaxy is a strategic transport aircraft in the United States inventory, which is used to transport heavy cargo and personnel from one place to another. One distinctive feature of the C-5 aircraft is that it allows the crew to load from both the nose and aft doors, allowing them to load and offload cargo from both ends simultaneously. Additionally, the drive-on ramps at each end allow double rows of vehicles to be transported. What's more interesting is that the C-5 has 5 seats of landing gear, with a total of 28 wheels, which allows it to take off and land on relatively short runways while carrying heavy cargo. The C-5's tricycle-type landing gear is fitted with oleo-pneumatic dual-chamber shock absorbers, carbon disc brakes, and Goodrich wheels. These tires can be deflated in flight depending upon the landing conditions at the destination. The C-5 is equipped with 4 main landing gear units fitted in tandem pairs, each of which has a separate 6-wheel bogie with 2 wheels forward and 4 wheels rear of the shock absorber. The main units can rotate through 90 degrees for inward retraction with the help of a hydraulically driven gear system. On the other hand, the 4-wheeled nose gear is equipped with robust hydraulically driven ball screw units to retract backward. The nose gear can be rotated through a 120-degree frontal arc. This provides a ground-turning radius of 22.10 meters about the nose wheel and 52.12 meters about the wingtip. The C-5 landing gear is inspected and maintained by highly specialized technicians of the maintenance crew. Initially, the technicians disassemble the landing gear and inspect it to locate any deformities, cracks, and structural imperfections. Each component is thoroughly checked to verify if any piece needs to be repaired or replaced. The components are inspected using various techniques, such as video measurement and roll scan techniques. At last, the repaired parts go through the process of plating, grinding, and painting before they are fitted back into the landing gear. The C-5's landing gear supports extreme loads, especially when the aircraft is taking off or landing. If the landing gear fails, it can cause a serious accident, costing millions of dollars in damage and endangering the lives of personnel on board. The landing gear usually fails due to wear or corrosion on the internal areas of its aluminum cylinder. Therefore, the all-new Magnetron sputtering technology is considered a lifesaver. This unique coating technique involves placing sputtering probes between worn-out cylinders. The probes sputter one atom at a time of aluminum coating on the inside of the cylinder, magically converting it into a brand new piece. In the past, the outer cylinders were made out of aluminum forging and were very costly, which is why they were very hard to procure. It was even harder for the US Air Force to replace the cylinder more often and keep the aircraft up and running. So, the fact that this technology can repair a worn-out cylinder is a big deal for the US Air Force.
And therefore, this technology can be taken and used in the industry and commercially by airlines to restore the dimensions of their aluminum landing gear and eventually save them money as well.
One more thing that makes the C-5's landing gear a unique spectacle is its 4 rear struts. Placed outside of the fuselage rather than underneath. This provides maximum stability to the aircraft during landing and takeoff while carrying heavy cargo. The struts bear at least one layer of zinc-nickel alloy coating, which ensures durability and longevity. The engineers at Robins Air Force Base, Georgia, carry out the process of coating zinc-nickel alloy with utmost precision so that it may work efficiently when put on an aircraft. Since the C-5's inception in 1970, the maintenance team has thoroughly inspected the landing gear before takeoff while carrying out the pre-flight procedures. They assess the overall condition of the gears, specifically the alignment, wear, corrosion, and any bent parts. In addition, the aircrew checks the fuel levels of the aircraft. After the team gives a green signal, the pilots enter the cockpit, turn the engines on, taxi the aircraft onto the runway, and then take off. The components like struts and brakes that control the C-5's landing gear are incredibly advanced, all thanks to Safran Landing Systems, an aerospace company that manufactures the landing gear's components for both commercial and military aircraft. During the landing gear's design process, Safran uses state-of-the-art 3D modeling and advanced engineering to ensure they provide the best possible product to their clients. These systems allow them to conduct several tests on their design before they bring them to life. In addition, Safran has a repair and refurbishment facility to restore old landing gears back to their original condition. This process involves 4 steps. The first starts with disassembling the landing gear, where each part is broken down to its smallest components, their protective coating is removed, and then these parts are cleaned thoroughly. The second step involves inspecting each component using laser measuring systems to check if any part is damaged. This leads us to the third step, in which the parts are refurbished to improve their quality and protective coatings are reapplied. The last step involves reassembling the landing gear for shipment back to the customer. Sometimes, the aircraft hits the ground with greater force than a normal landing, which is known as a hard landing. A hard landing is never intended. It depends on other factors like weather conditions, overweight aircraft, or pilot error. However, whenever a hard landing occurs, the aircraft must be inspected for damage before its next flight. Embraer is a company that specializes in restoring damaged parts of the landing gear. The landing gear is received in boxes at the facility. After documentation of every part, the landing gear goes to the technicians, who disassemble it for inspection. The technicians remove the coatings on every part to visually inspect for deformities.
We're taking off the primary coating, the paint, the primer, cadmium plating, down to the microscopic level, really what's going on with this gear, make sure there's no hidden issues.
Moving on, these parts undergo non-destructive testing to see things that can't be seen with the naked eye. After repairing all the defective parts, the technicians apply the coating and paint them in a specialized facility. When the gear is finally assembled, it undergoes a full cycle compression test to ensure it works fine. The technician greases the exterior parts of the landing gear before packing the landing gear back in the boxes. Embraer has a separate manufacturer and maintenance shop to perform overhaul tasks on the landing gears of the Phenom 100 and Phenom 300 aircraft. This facility has almost 600 employees, out of which 200 are dedicated to maintenance tasks. After receiving the shipment, the crew documents every part of the landing gear to ensure all components and subcomponents are traceable. The landing gear is completely disassembled, the paint is removed, and the parts are sent to the non-destructive inspection area, where the technicians detect any damage or corrosion that occurs during inspection. The engineering team performs the repairs and applies different coatings on each subcomponent. The technicians apply paints on these components, which act as an extra layer of protection during operations. The parts are reassembled and subjected to several functional tests that simulate the operation of the landing gear. Finally, the landing gear is packed in boxes and sent back to the customer. When a customer receives the all-new landing gears from the repair station, they instantly start working towards putting it back on the aircraft. Special hydraulic jacks lift and hold the aircraft, while the personnel work towards putting landing gears back on the plane. It takes almost 15 days to put complete sets of landing gears back on the plane. However, with their experience, The aircrew sometimes manages to replace the landing gears earlier than expected. Maintaining and testing landing gears underscores the importance of regular maintenance in ensuring safe landings. These maintenance procedures require utmost care and attention, not only to enhance the performance and longevity of the landing gear, but also to contribute significantly to aviation safety. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.